Hi there everybody, it's me again. Apologies I haven't done a video in a couple of weeks or something like that, but we're going to get back on track. There's a few things that I want to cover. But first of all, I want to talk about what we saw last night. I want to talk about Arrow. That's right, the CW finally released a clip of the show, which is going to be premiering this coming fall on the CW. It's basically going to replace Smallville. Everybody who knows Smallville ran for 10 years, was an incredibly successful show. Whether you liked it or you didn't, you can't deny the fact that it did a lot of good for comic books and comic book fans in general because of the fact that it gave some exposure to superheroes. Now granted, it gave exposure to Superman, but you've got to remember, Cyborg was in there, The Flash was in there, and more to the point, Green Arrow was in there. And Green Arrow, played by Justin Hartley, was in there for a good long time. He was in, what, 5 seasons? Maybe more? Maybe 4 or 5 seasons. And he became a massive fan favourite. Now, I liked Green Arrow in Smallville. He wasn't what I needed from Green Arrow, but I was getting that out of the comic books anyway. I'm going to go into Green Arrow in a little while because he is a great character and a character that I have great affinity for. And I would just like to point out that if anybody wants to say that he's DC's equivalent to Hawkeye, just put it this way. Green Arrow was created 20 odd years before Hawkeye. Hawkeye is a rip-off of Green Arrow. Though I will say that I did like Hawkeye incredibly in the Avengers movie, so it's not having a go at Hawkeye. I was even tempted to pick up the Ultimates Hawkeye. That bit where he's standing on the building and he just turns his arrow and like fires it off and hits something, that was pretty cool, I will admit. Green Arrow, Oliver Queen. So, the show itself. There's a couple of things that I really like reading the descriptions here. And there's a couple of things that have me sort of scratching my head, being like, what? Okay, so, after a violent shipwreck, billionaire playboy Oliver Queen was missing and presumed dead for 5 years after being discovered alive on a remote island in the Pacific. Excellent. That is Oliver Queen's backstory, as depicted in Green Arrow Year 1. This is a fairly new trade. It only came out in the last like 3 or 4 years, I think, and it well worth picking up, ladies and gentlemen. Written by Andy Diggle and artwork by Jock. It's a great origin story for Oliver Queen, so if you're looking for a starting point, there's a very good starting point for you. Now, it's good that they've got the origin going. Smallville never really addressed that I recall, the origin of Green Arrow to a great extent, but it wasn't really Oliver Queen's show. Now, what's interesting about this is a couple of other things, is that when he's found, he's returning to Starling City. Starling City? Starling City? Really? This is one of these scratching show things that doesn't really make much sense. Oliver Queen lives in Star City. Why put Ling on the end of it? Why? What's wrong with Star City? That's one of those weird TV show things that I would love to know the answer to. It's a bit like, why did they change Bruce Banner's name to David Banner in the original Hulk TV series? We know that, well, Stan Lee's mentioned it a few times, that they said that Bruce sounded too homosexual, whereas David is a really strong and powerful and manly name. Bruce is weak and pitiful, you know, whatever. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It totally is. But it's one of those things where I'm like, really? You had to stick Starling? It had to be Starling instead of Star City? Very odd. The other thing is, they're giving him a mother and a sister. Now then, in the comic books, as I recall, but mind you, I haven't read an awful lot of Silver Age Green Arrow, so you may forgive me, I'm not a total aficionado on this. Obviously, Green Arrow's parents died when he was young. He's kind of got a bit of a Batman thing going on. I mean, God, at one point he had the Arrowmobile, he had the Arrow Cave. There were a lot of similarities. You know, he was a billionaire or millionaire philanthropist, you know, ran his own company, all of that stuff. He was very much Batman with a bow and arrow. It was basically take Batman, take Robin Hood, there you go. And it really wasn't until Denny O'Neil in the 1970s got hold of the character before Oliver Queen actually became his own character. It's kind of weird, a lot of these characters that came out around that time took a while to develop, and in some cases took several decades, Oliver Queen being a perfect example of that. He was a character in his own right, but they were just churning him out, and it wasn't until they basically turned him into the voice of the left that he found his niche as a character and became a character that people could actually latch onto, because they were like, yeah, I understand this guy. There's nothing actually mentioned in the clip that we saw or in the statement that it puts out stating whether or not he is going to have a political viewpoint. However, the fact that he's coming back to save Starling City from degradation and corruption and things like that is a good sign. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, he has got a mother and he has got a sister, and it's sort of mentioned that his mother may know more about the shipwreck that stranded him on that island than she's letting on to. So potentially we could be looking at the start of maybe some kind of, I don't know, Lex Luthor, Lionel Luthor, Smallville situation. I hate to draw comparisons between one or the other, but it's possible, you know. I could very easily see it becoming a case of, you know, he comes back to Queen Industries, the mother has obviously deliberately tried to get him out of the way, so she can run the company, and then eventually it would end up with her taking over Queen Industries and him sort of becoming this outcast vigilante on the street sort of thing, operating and sort of stealing tech from Queen Industries, and, you know, maybe something like that. I don't know, it's always worth a shot. Now, here is one of the very cool things. He does have a girlfriend. Now then, anybody who has read Green Arrow at any point knows that Green Arrow has an eye for the ladies. He's a womanizing sod. He really is. But his heart belongs to Black Canary. His girlfriend in the show is called Laurel Lance. Laurel Lance. Well, Black Canary's name is Dinah Laurel Lance. So, it's possible that Black Canary is in the show right from the start. I'll be interested to see how they handle this, because I am a huge Black Canary fan. Massive, massive Black Canary fan. And I really hope they do her justice, because she got shafted in Birds of Prey and had to become this horrible amalgamation of like several different characters, and then when fans screamed out, they then brought in the Black Canary that we know, and she was middle-aged and single mom, and I wasn't interested in that. I want a strong, powerful Black Canary. And then I want Oracle, and then I want Huntress, you know, that sort of thing going on. And she has a father who is a detective, cha-ching, correct, who is hunting Green Arrow. So it sounds promising, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're going to be left with a show where he is a billionaire, you know, does about by day, but by night he is the Green Arrow. In fact, I don't even think he's the Green Arrow. I think they simply just refer to him as Arrow. Truth is, we need a new TV show. We need a new comic book series to you know, come out on TV and really set the world on fire. I don't think it will. I don't think this will get to the level of something like Heroes, where it became this massive sensation and everybody watched it. And I honestly don't think it'll last as long as 10 years for Smallville. But a good couple of years run on this show, I would really hope for. Like I say, massive Green Arrow fan. Just before I go, and I realise that I'm really desperately out of time, if you also want to pick up Green Arrow, and you want to try something, I would recommend try picking up Quiver by Kevin Smith, no doubt. This is the return of Green Arrow into the old DC universe, and well worth a pick up. I'll be back in a little while. There's a few more videos that I want to make, so until then, ladies and gentlemen, catch you all later, and let me know what you think about Arrow. Take care. Bye.